So this is Zoe. She actually was at death's door on Thursday. She got a grass, those prickly grass things in her throat, and we didn't know what it was. Her meows were really bad, and then she wasn't getting any better. So we took her to the emergency vet, and they said, "Well, you can do X-rays, or you could do put her under and see what's in there." And so I decided to put her under and see what's in there. Well, he was talking to me and had said, "Well, good news. That's a baby right here. That's a cute baby. Good news. We had the grass thing out. She swallowed this grass thing, and they're really prickly, and they kind of tended to kind of go further and further in wherever in your skin or your fur or whatever." So he basically said that. Well, he's on the phone. He's telling me about these things. He's saying, well, there's bacteria that our bodies can't fight against, and so we're concerned about her, and she has a heart murmur, and so as he was on the phone telling me that good news, we got this thing out, he says, well, hang on a second. So he comes back and said that she arrested. So she died on the table. She came back because he resuscitated her. And but the problem was she wasn't coming out of the anesthesia. And he said the anesthesia wasn't that serious. It wasn't something she should be sleeping still. You need a good baby. Say hi. I'm all better. My tail's wagging. I'm all better now. So, to make a long story short, he says, well, we're afraid if we pull out the resuscitation, the tube or whatever, that she'll not make it. I'm like, oh man. So she seemed like a healthy kitty. She said she had a heart murmur, but it might be something that was just temporary. So, her tail is wagging. It is a baby right there, Zoey. So he says, well, let me call Jody. He came over, and I said, you can pull it out then in case she doesn't make it. He said, okay. So, she started to sort of wake up a little bit, but she wasn't really responsive. And so they brought her out to me in the car because you can't go into the vet's office because of the whole COVID thing. And so she's laying there and she's on my chest and she's just not, I just think in Pet Cemetery, man, she just looks horrible. This is absolutely horrible. She's a good girl now. Yeah, she's everything good now. So brought her home. We said, give me the bill, $800, and we'll take her home. So we brought her home, and she's laying there, and she's just not responsive. And we're talking to her and singing to her and stuff. And so I have this. It's called a Healy. It's a micro current frequency device that someone just loaned me because we were looking at buying one. So we bought one, but we haven't got it yet. And so I had actually borrowed one to demonstrate to somebody how it's used. And so I thought, you know what? He said something about bacteria and we can't fight it. I'm thinking, I'm just going to turn it on to bacteria and see what happens. So I turn it on to like 5%. I lay it next to her. And she's just laying there, I'm rubbing her legs and stuff to keep her circulation going because there was nothing in there. There's no movement on the tail. Her paws weren't moving, just nothing. Sorry, this is so long, but the program ends, and Jody and I were sitting there, whatever, doing, and all of a sudden she gets up, and granted, her legs don't work, and so I don't think she can see. So she gets up and shoots across the room, starts running into stuff. I go and try to grab her, and she's like just shooting off, and she's bumping into the couch and the table. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, well, there's something at least there. So then there's another program on there called Care, and it had to do with like if you just don't, if you're in poor health. So I ran that one, crying out loud. Wouldn't you know it, she gets up and she starts walking around, and she's like starting to improve. And then later on I run one called immune support. And today, so this is Saturday, all day yesterday, she was fine. She's happy. She's like passed out right now because she was playing outside. But this cat literally looks like nothing has happened to her. It is absolutely amazing to me that she went from arrested on the table to back to normal. Right now she's just sleeping, but you can see little boo-boo where they did her little paw right there. But yeah, she's back to normal. If I can get her to like, oh yeah, she'll like yell at me in a minute. But she's back to normal. She was outside playing. She's rubbing on stuff. She's happy. And I just I don't think that the doctor expected that. So I wanted to give him a call. The vet, really nice man, explained a whole bunch of stuff to me. But I don't think he expected this cat to live. And here she is, happy as can be. You sleeping? Hi, baby. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Are you good girl right there? Her tail's going. Are you good girl right there? Anyway, that's my story. I am blessed and so happy that we happen to have that thing. I just don't think she would have made it without it. And I don't know what else to contribute it to because she was going down fast and she wasn't coming back. All right, love you. I want to tell my story. Bye.